one of the things that we do to the metal is we have like 5 different hammer techniques that we use on it. So some of it looks like it's chiseled.
Okay.
Some of it looks like almost like a tortoise shell, because there's a little round point on one of our hammers that makes almost like the tiles on a turtle shell. And then we have one that has very intricate little tiny squares that give it a real interesting kind of geometric effect. So that's more sculptural on the metal, but then the textures that we've done with the wood, where so many people are doing cerusing, we're doing different metal brushing effects on wood, and in some cases it raises the grain so that the grain becomes very emphatic, and then in other cases it gives you just a real scrubbed look, almost raw and scrubbed. And some of them can look really dry, and then some of them are almost like a Venetian plaster when we put more of a satin glaze on the top of it. In fact, that's something that we're working on right now that we would have shown at this market is something that feels like Venetian plaster, but it's actually wood, and it's wood that's been textured, and then the glazing process that we've done over the top of it makes it very smooth and silky, but at the same time it's wood. So it's like the perfect storm of Venetian plaster and wood together. It's just lovely. Beautiful.
Love that. All I imagine is like this juicy lip gloss or something on wood kind of thing. Oh, that sounds
great. It's
kind
of like that.
Yeah, I love that. So for the sculptural wood patterns, you came out with a number of different patterns. How did you come up with those? Where did that come from?
Okay. The first sculpted wood patterns, actually, the very first one was sent to us as a large tile, and a designer down in Florida had wanted to incorporate these sculpted tiles into door fronts. And at that time, they were very heavy because it was ceramic tile.
Absolutely.
And we discovered that we could make these. First, we carved the first ones, and we carved them out of wood.
So
and that was so complex. Yes.
That
was so complex, and trying to get them all exactly the same because they need to be very repetitive. That was very, very difficult. And it actually looked clumsy when you do it that way, because that's not the right way to do it. So we put our pennies together for many, many months and invested in a CNC machine. And when we bought a CNC machine, we were able to create amazing patterns. So the first one was a large wave. Okay. And now we have 13 different patterns. We have like a basket wave. We have a fish pattern. We have hive. We have all of these different beautiful sculpted wood patterns that you can use on drawer fronts or door fronts. You can put them on the backgrounds of wall units, but there's something that just gives you a whole nother facet to a piece of furniture.
Oh, I love that. And I mean, I have to say my favorite motif out there is the fish scale for some reason. I love it on glass mullioned doors. I love it with the CNC carved, with the sculpted. I mean, that's my favorite. Fish scale is my favorite. When I go to High Point, I really try to see what's popular, what's happening, and you guys were right on the forefront of this really great design trend. And it was that beautiful tall armoire with the sculpted pattern, and then you layering the silver and the gold leaf. I died. That was one of the most amazing pieces that I saw at market, actually.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, that was the Pisces, and that was the first time that we had released that sculpted wood pattern. And it was actually also the first time that we had ever mixed leaves. We've worked in gold leaf, silver leaf, warm silver leaf, and copper leaf, but we'd never actually mixed them. And there was such a big push in the fashion arena where people were doing rose gold and platinum and gold, and they were mixing all the metals. And it just seemed like such a natural to do it on a piece of furniture. And we'd never thought about it before. And it's not difficult to do, but you have to really have an eye to make it work correctly, because it can look very contrived if you're not careful.
Absolutely. And it felt so natural. It just felt like that piece was meant to be that way. So it was great. I loved it.